In math today, we're going to begin comparing numbers between 6 through 10. So let's go over our DLO, then we'll talk about our number line, and we'll review the terms less and greater. So I'll go first. Today I will compare groups to 10 by matching. Now it's your turn. Today I will compare groups to 10 by matching. What I drew here is a number line, starting with the number 0, counting up to 10. I also have a number, or a line, an arrow going back and forth. Last quarter, we learned about the vocabulary words less and greater. When a number is less than another number, it's closer to 0. So that's why I put it on this side with the arrow pointing towards 0. Say less. Put your thumb down. Say less. Say not as many. Not as many. We have another word that we learned, greater. So give me a thumbs up. Say greater. Greater. When we go up, it's going away from 0. So I have it going to the right because when we read, we start on the left and we go to the right. It's getting greater. The number and the quantity are more. So say greater. Say getting more. Getting more. So less, not as many, closer to 0. Greater. Getting more, far from 0. Not far, but just it's going away from 0. It has more quantity. So I'll leave this up here, and we're going to be comparing by matching. I'm going to use my magnets, and we're going to draw lines to match the different objects to find out which group of objects is less, not as many, or greater, getting more. All right, let's get started. I've got my magnets here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I'm going to put my green magnets below and I'm going to line them up so it's easy to match them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Some of you might look at this and know right away which group is more or greater and which group is less, not as many. But we're going to match to double check. So with my marker, count with me. We're going to find a pair, a buddy. A pair is 2. So we're going to find a buddy for my blue dots and my green dots. And at the end, we're going to figure out which group is greater. Count with me. We're going to match the buddies. Excuse me. And you'll draw a line in your book when you do your work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of them have buddies. They each have a pair. This one does not. So let's count to see how many we have. Let's count the blue ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to write 6 on top. Let's count the green ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I want to figure out which number is greater, more. 6 and 7. Let me get a different color here. I'm just going to underline it on my number line to see where they're at. 6 is here. 7 is here. We know that when a number is less, it's closest to 0. And we know when a number is greater, it's further from 0. So we have 6 and 7. Which number is less? If I look on the number line, it's the one closest to 0. It's 6. Down here, I can see that 6 is less, not as many. There are more green dots because there are 7. So which number is greater? The number that's further from 0. Number 7. I'm going to circle the greater number. So I'll circle the group. And in your book, it doesn't say you need to write the numbers. I recommend you write the numbers because it's good practice and it helps you remember what you counted. So that's just a little extra, but it's worth the time to practice. So I could say 7 is greater than 6 because 7 is further away from 0. 6 is closer to 0. Let's do another one. Erase, erase, erase. When we have a number that's less, it's closer to 0. When we have a number that's greater, it's further from 0. All right, let me get some bigger magnets. Don't fall, don't fall. In another grade level, you will be using your alligators, but not in kindergarten. Okay, count with me. I'll use my red dots first. No, I want to use the green dots one more time. I just had to count what I've got. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Try and line them up a little better. Now I'm going to count my blue dots, and then we will compare them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, I thought I had some more. I guess not. Only got 6. That's okay. We can still compare. I wanted to do more. I'm going to take my marker and I'm going to match them, find a buddy to figure out. This time we're going to find out which group is less, not as many. You might be able to tell already, but we're going to match to double check. So I'll draw my lines and match a green with a blue to find a buddy for each one. These ones don't have buddies. That means there are more green ones. So the green group is greater, and my blue group is less, not as many. Let's just count them so we can write our numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. A 10 is a 1 and a 0. Let's count my blue ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I'm going to mark it on my line because I want to see which one is less. That's what we were looking for. So I have 10 over here and 6. I know less means it's closer to 0. Greater means farther from 0. I've got my 6 and my 10. Which number is less? Not as many. Blue, because blue has only 6 and 10, 6 is closer to 0. So I will circle my group that is less, not as many. Let's do another one. Now I'll use my big dots because those ones are big and fun. And you've got these, they look like your flippy chips at home. Okay, let's pull down as quick as I can without having magnets flying away. Okay, next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to push them down so that we have room on the camera. There we go. I'll squish them up. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're going to write 9 at the end. Make a loop and then a line. That's the way you make a 9. And I use the strategy of touching each one to count. Now let's put up our green ones. Our green, yellow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I want to know which group is greater. So let's draw our lines to match. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 matches. So we had 9 up here. However many matches there were, the lower number, That's how many there are of the yellow ones. But let's just count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Straight across, down from heaven. That's the way you make a 7. I wanted to know which group is greater, farther away from 0. So let me mark my 9 and 7 up here. Here's number 9, and here's number 7. 7 is closer to 0, so 7 is less, not as many. My 9 is further away from 0. It has more quantity. It is greater, getting more. So I'm going to circle the group that is greater, which is number 9, because 9 is farther away from 0. 7 is closer, so it's less. All right, we have time for one more. We won't be doing equal today because we're just looking at greater and less. So some of you were wondering, that is why. All right, I think what I'll do is I will leave this one up and add, here we go. Okay, I want to figure out which group is less, not as many. So let's match them, and we'll circle the group that is less, not as many. Let's match them with their pairs. Here's a pair, a pair, a pair, together. Only matching, every single one has a partner until I get to the end, and then I get to find out which one is less and which one is greater. Let's count the red ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Make an S and close the gate. That's the way you make an 8. Let's count our yellow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Make a loop and then a line. That's the way you make a 9. Now I'm going to mark them up on my number line so I can see. I've got the number 8 and the number 9. 9 is 1 more than 8. 1 more than 8, so I know that 9 is greater than 8, but I'm looking for which one is less, not as many. Which number is less? Let's look up here. 8 and 9. Which number is closer to 0? 8 or 9? 8. 8 is less. Say less, not as many. So 8 is less, so I will circle 8 this time because I was looking for the number that was less, not as many. So now it will be your turn to match. On this side, you've got little barnyard chicks. Draw your lines and match. Down below, it will tell you if you are circling the group that is greater, getting more, or if you're circling the group that's less, not as many. And then on the second page back here, there are buckets, same thing, match them, and then the challenge question, it tells you draw a group of buckets that is greater in number. So down here it has 5 buckets. You need to draw buckets down below that are greater. Well, you could do it on the side too, but greater. So if there's 5, think of a number that's greater than 5. So if here's your number 5 on that challenge question, you could pick any of those numbers and draw your buckets. So now it is your turn to compare groups up to 10.